Good morning, children. Welcome to the class. I hope all are fine. In the last class we saw about ARDC, RRBs and NABARD when it was set up and what are the functions of NABARD. NABARD is totally related to development of agricultural credit. Controlling of institutions which are totally related to the development of agricultural credit and to the development of rural sector. Next is another important sectors with respect to our economy is the industrial sector. Now, what is the role of RBI with respect to the industrial finance? This we shall be learning in the forthcoming chapters. See, we know that the amount of money that is required for industries from the commercial bank is really on the higher side only. But how much amount of money is the commercial banks able to generate to the industrial sector is only very limited only. Now, what is the role of RBI in extending credit facilities to the industrial sector? It can be short-term loans or it can be long-term loans. Okay, the institutions what are the financial institutions which are set up under RBI for promotion of industries? And these institutions can be classified at all India level. We have the Industrial Finance Corporation of India, the Industrial Credit Investment Corporation of India, Industrial Development Bank of India. These are the three financial institutions which are set up by the RBI at national level for promotion of finance to the industrial sectors, to the industries rather. At the state level, we have state finance corporations and state industrial development corporation. Okay, these are the two institutions which are responsible for lending finance credit facilities through to the development of industrial sector, which are legally authorized by the RBI. Next is let us learn one after the other. The first thing is Industrial Finance Corporation of India at national level. That is all India level. What are the institutions which are responsible for lending industrial finance? First thing is Industrial Finance Corporation of India, IFCI. See, this IFCI was established in the year 1948 under the act which was passed by the Parliament, and this bank financial institution was established on 1st July 1948. What is the work that it does? So the IFCI, it provides financial assistance concerning the following topics. First thing is it provides long-term loans. This long-term loans they provide loans in terms of rupees as well as in terms of foreign currency, because whenever we say industrial development, it is not confined to one country alone. The development or the growth could be witnessed on a global basis. That's the reason why the IFCI provide long-term loans not only in Indian currency but also in foreign currencies. Next is underwriting of equity, preference and debenture issues. I have told you many a times what is underwriting. Suppose if any big, let us assume a big MNC, a very huge MNC which has got establishment in 2-3 countries wanted to start their establishment in India. But as such, we do not know how this performance of this MNC will be in India. In such a situation, the IFCI will take up the work of underwriting of these equities and preference shares of this particular MNC. Once an national level finance institution is doing the underwriting process, definitely the authenticity or the weightage of that particular MNC will be on the higher side. So people would be ready to subscribe to the equity shares or the preference shares or the debentures which are being underwritten by a bank, commercial bank or an institution like IFCI. Next is they also subscribe to the equities, preference and debentures issues. They not only do the underwriting work, but they also invest their money by subscribing to the equities of a growing concern also to multiply their capital. Next is guaranteeing the deferred payments in respect of machinery imported from abroad or purchased in India. See, these IFCI, they provide as guarantors for the business people or for the industrialists who have bought the machineries or who have imported the machinery from any foreign country for the development of their industrial activity in India, or else those, or if it is being purchased in India also, this IFCI acts as a guarantor for deferred payment, that is for making the payment at a future date. So they give a guarantee that this particular industry will pay the amount for the machinery that is being bought. Guaranteeing of loans raised in foreign currencies from foreign financial institutions. Likewise, if the reputed corporates, okay, if they have bought loans from other countries, or loans are being in the form of foreign currencies, the IFCI acts as a guarantor, okay. In case if this corporate is defaulting, they would represent, okay, as a guarantor for the repayment of the loans that are being borrowed in foreign currencies from the foreign financial institution itself. So these are the main functions of IFCI, that is 5 points. This is again a 3-mark answer. Very simple. Let me just give you a recap. They provide long-term loans involved in rupees as well as in foreign currency. Next is they do the underwriting work of equities, preference and debenture issues. Not only the underwriting work, but they also subscribe to the equity shares and the debentures issued by the other growing concern. Next is they provide guarantee for deferred payment if the MNCs or the industrialists have bought or imported machines from abroad, or if they have bought machines from within the country. Fifth point is they not only guarantee for the machines, they also give guarantee for the loans that are being borrowed in foreign currencies or from the foreign institutions. So these are the assistance which are functions of IFCI. Okay. Next is this the financial assistance of IFCI. Okay, it can be availed by any limited company. Any limited company which is being listed, or it can be a public limited company, it can be a private limited company, or a joint stock company, or a cooperative society. Anyone who are engaged in any particular specific industrial activity are eligible to borrow from the IFCI. And such financial assistance, okay, will be available. This IFCI will not provide loans for agriculture sector. If a person is engaged in agriculture development activities, they will not provide loans. Who will provide loans then? NABARD will provide the loans through its institution. But if IFCI provides loans for the industrial, for setting new industrial project, or if they wanted to expand the existing industrial project, they provide, or if they wanted to do any diversification of the existing project, they will provide loans, or if they wanted to renovate their existing business, for that they will provide loans, or if they wanted to modernize the existing activity, okay, for that also the IFCI provides loan. And not only that, they provide financial assistance on concessional terms also. Suppose if any industrial project is being developed in a less developed area, okay, if any particular district is not developed, and if the government has given concessions or subsidies, if any industry is being developed in that particular area, the government will give subsidy, because for the regional, overall regional development. In such a situation, the IFCI will come and give the concessions which are being extended by the state or the union territories, or even by the central government. Next is, how does this IFCI raise its source of money? Okay, where does it, I am telling you that they provide loans, okay, they provide credit facility to industry sector. Where do they get the money from? Okay, first thing is they issue bonds in the market. They also raise equity share capital. See, for any individual, for me, investing 1,000 rupees is not a problem. Okay, just imagine like this, crores and crores of people will be there who will be ready to invest their money in government securities. Okay, so IFCI, they issue bonds in the market. They float their bonds in the market. Next is they borrow from the Industrial Development Bank of India. It is IDBI. They borrow from the development banks, and not only from the banks, they borrow from the central government also. Not only that, they borrow from, they get the foreign credit from foreign financial institutions also. And not only that, in the international capital market also they can borrow. Okay, they can borrow money from the capital market, and then they can lend to the industrial sectors within our country. So these are the three methods they raise the finance. First thing is what? They issue bonds in the market. Next is they borrow from whom? IDBI and central government. Next is they borrow foreign credit from foreign financial institutions and also from the international capital market. Okay. Next is IDBI. This is also All India that is Industrial Development Banks on the All India level basis. I think many of us, we are familiar with this acronym ICICI Bank. Okay, ICICI Bank. All of us, we know it as a bank only, but primarily it was intended or established only with a view of developing industrial credit. So just the expansion, you see, Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India. Okay, so what is the function of this ICICI? First thing is to provide assistance to industries. Okay, next thing is they provide provision for what? Foreign currency loans also. Next is merchant banking, the issuing of letter of credit. Letter of credit, that is giving a guarantee that I know this person for so many years. Next is for promoting any project, they provide loans. They provide housing loans and they provide leasing operation also. Now let us understand when it was set up. This ICICI was set up on 5th January, underline this, 5th January 1955. Basically, it was a joint stock company. Okay, it was established, okay, on the advisory board by which it was just underline this also, on the advice of a three-man mission. It was sponsored by the World Bank and the government of USA to the Indian government. Okay. Next is the main purpose of this setting up of ICICI is to channelize all the World Bank funds to the industries in India. Okay, wherever money is available on a worldwide basis, on the World Bank level, international level, providing those financial facilities to develop the Indian industries. Okay, and to help the development of capital market. See, initially the share capital of ICICI, it was held by the private companies only. Private companies, individuals also, they subscribe to the shares, and institutions also. But now a majority of the part, large part of the equity share capital of this ICICI is being held by the public sector only. Public sector means not the government. Okay, it is being held by the banks, LIC, GIC, Life Insurance Corporation, General Insurance Corporation and its subsidiaries. And apart from that, private institutions, as it is now being nationalized. Okay, and this is the share capital of ICICI. Next is the feature of operation of ICICI is foreign currency sanctioning of loan institutions to the industries only. From its inception, it was almost 50 years because it was it came into existence in 55. More than 50 years, they had dispersed it, almost 50% of its disbursement has been done in foreign currencies only. They have given the loan in foreign currencies only, and it is possible only because they were able to raise the funds in foreign currencies. So they have been lending loans in foreign currency. This was possible because they were able to get loans in foreign currencies. Okay, the World Bank has been the single large source of such funds. Okay, we have been taking funds, ICICI have been taking funds from the World Bank only. From since 1973, the ICICI has entered into international capital market for raising foreign currency loans also. Next is the major portion of its rupee resource. It was raised by way of debentures in the share capital market. And they also borrow from whom I said? IDBI and the government also. And the major portion of its assistance, see, though the funding is being done by the central government, the funding is being done by the world government, and the funding is being done by the government of India, but the majority of the financial assistance, it goes only to the private sector. Okay. Next is the third one, Industrial Development Bank of India, that is IDBI. This name is also very, very familiar to us because we have been understanding IDBI as a bank only. The expansion of IDBI is what? Industrial Development Bank of India. Now, the primary purpose of creation of this is to coordinate the activities of the financial institutions which are held including the banks. Primarily, it was developed for what? Coordinating all the activities. See, development banks, I remember teaching you in commerce last year, agricultural development banks, industrial development banks. Okay, this IDBI, mainly it was established only for developing industrial sector. But later on, it started taking up the function of lending of finance to the industrial sector also. Primarily, it was mainly set up to coordinate the activities of all the financial institutions, whoever is lending loans for the industrial sector. The development banks was wholly owned a subsidiary of RBI till 15th February 76. And later on, it was delinked. Delinked means that link was disrupted from RBI, and from 16th February 76 onwards, it was taken as an autonomous corporation fully owned by Government of India. Now it is fully owned by the Government of India from 1976 onwards. What are the functions of IDBI? First thing is, it provides assistance to other financial institutions. I told you ICICI gets fund from whom? IDBI. IFCI gets from whom? IDBI. So the main function of IDBI is to provide loan facility for whom? Financial institutions. Next is direct assistance to industrial concern, either on its own or in participation with other institutions. The next important function is, suppose if the institution is a very big corporate institution, or if the project is that of a state government, or it can be of a central government. In such a situation, the IDBI will directly participate in the lending process, or it will participate in association with any other financial service provider also. So this is the second function of the IDBI, and they can also provide refinance facility in terms of loans concerning with IFCI and FCI. FCI is State Finance Corporation. They can also provide the loans in combination with the State Finance Corporation, Industrial Finance Corporation, and this IDBI can also be a part of financial institution providing loan facilities. It can be to the government sector or to the leading private sectors also. Now the special feature of IDBI is the provision for creation of special fund known as Development Assistance Fund. Okay, so the main feature is that they create a special fund called as, underline this, Development Assistance Fund. This fund is mainly intended to provide financial assistance to whom? To the industries which require very heavy investment with low anticipated returns. See, there are certain industrial sector, there are certain industrial developments where investment will be very high, but the returns will be low, but the returns will be on a very long time basis. See, for example, development of bridges, development of roads. Okay, the development of roads or bridges, okay, the investment will be very, very huge, dams and all. But the returns from that will be very less only, but the returns will be on for a very long time basis. You will get the returns. So the IDBI's main task is to provide assistance to industries which require very heavy investment. Okay, such industries may not be able to get the assistance in normal course. Because of the huge fund requirement which is needed for such industries, they would not be able to get it from the regular financial institutions. In such a situation, the IDBI comes forward in providing huge investment facilities. The financing of export was also undertaken by the IDBI till the establishment of Exim Bank in 82. Till the Exim Bank, which was established in 1982. Till 1982, the IDBI was only funding for the export-oriented industrial sectors also. Because for export-oriented industrial sectors, they require a huge amount of capital. Till 1982, till the setting up of the Exim Bank, the IDBI has been doing the work of lending credit facilities for the export and import financing also. Okay. Now the next topic is State Level Finance Corporation. Let us have a small recap of today's class. So today we have been discussing about what is the role of RBI and industrial finance. Under that, the RBI cannot directly come and provide the financial assistance to the industrial sector. So it has to set up an apex wing, okay, which is responsible purely for taking care of industrial sector. Now, under the at all India level, we have the IFCI, Industrial Credit Finance Credit and Investment Corporation, ICICI. Next is IDBI, Industrial Development Bank of India. Next, under the state level, we have State Finance Corporations, State Industrial Development Corporation. Now, let us see what is IFCI. It was established in July 1st, 1948 under the Act of Parliament. First thing is it provides 5 important functions. Provides long-term loans, both in rupees, foreign currency. Does the underwriting work? Does the subscribing work? Next, this guarantee for buying of machines, imported machines, or for purchasing machines in India itself. And for guarantee, it also guarantees loans for the loan raised in foreign currencies. Next is how do they get money from? They get money from resources like they issue the bonds in the market. They borrow from the IDBI and from the central bank. Not only that, they borrow foreign currencies from the foreign financial institutions, and they also borrow from the international capital market also. Next is ICICI. Okay, I think this is second one. It is wrongly written here. It should be 2 here. ICICI, the expansion, you know. The functions of ICICI are these. It was established in the year 1955 on January 5th. Okay, it was mainly decided on a 3-man mission. It was sponsored by the World Bank and the Government of India, Government of USA to the Government of India. Their main purpose of establishment was what? Take all the funds from World Bank or all world institutions and then channelize into the Indian industries. Okay, initially it was held, the share capital of ICICI was held by the private sector, but right now major portion of the equity share is being held by the public sector institutions like LIC, GIC, banks and subsidiaries. Next is from the date of inception, almost 50% of the disbursement of the loan credit facility of ICICI is being done only in foreign currencies. This was possible because the ICICI takes foreign credit, okay, takes foreign credits and secures foreign currency credit itself from foreign financial institutions. Third one is IDBI, Industrial Development Bank of India. It was established mainly for the purpose of coordinating all the financial institutions, and it is a subsidiary of the RBI. And later on, in the year 1976, it became an autonomous institution which was fully owned by the Government of India. Their main function is to provide what? As financial assistance, okay, to the other financial institutions, and to direct all the industrial concerns. Either they directly participate or they provide financial assistance along with the other financial institutions also. Okay, I think, and apart from that, they have been also, their main feature is to create a special fund called as Development Assistance Fund. Okay, underline this and keep. Till the coming up of the Exim Bank, the IDBI Bank was only funding for exports and imports. Okay, with this, I shall finish today's class. Okay, next class we shall learn about state level institutions. Okay, children. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.